Hello there. How are you doing, guys? Welcome to the first installment of Three Beards of Wrestling. I am one of your hosts, Marvelous Malcolm King.
I'm the other host, Shane. All right, I guess Ricky's having some technical difficulties. Jamal?
So, guys, today we have a guest, the man, the myth, the legend, the baddest man to step foot in the wrestling ring, the meanest man to chop you, the meanest man to flame you down. Mean Mark Mess. And ladies and gentlemen, he has a seminar coming up, and you should go there and get the experience of a lifetime because there's knowledge that he can give you. It's Saturday, February 25th, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's in Woodward,
I'm trying to get it up.
New Jersey. And it's only $10.
I don't know
You
what's
should go
going
check
on
it
with
out.
Ricky.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's popped up on the live stream. Just not on here, apparently.
Ladies and gentlemen,
right.
it's still on the screen.
Trying to get him on. Bro, I'm trying to get him on. What the fuck?
Can't say the F word.
Way to start.
Huh?
I said way to start. I'm trying
It's
to get
all right,
Ricky
man.
on here.
You can't hear him. He can't hear us. He needs to unmute himself. So, like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, all right, there he is, Mean Mark Mess. How are you doing, Mark? Your mic, your mic is muted.
I see that. Huh?
There you go. All
There
right,
we go.
All
that's
right.
the first. It's the first time, ladies and gentlemen. So if you thought it was gonna go well, wrong. All right. So listen, Mean Mark Mess, you've been in this business so many years that
Long
you
time.
have so much knowledge, and we're here to pick your brain to see what you remember about you.
Wow. Talk about a stroll down memory lane, huh?
Yes, you got the stroll.
All right.
Here's
Let's
the first
do it.
question.
Okay.
Ricky,
When
you
did
want to go
you-
first?
All right.
Ricky's going in and out.
Yeah, he's having an issue.
Yeah, all right,
Technical
go.
difficulty. I'm gonna take it from here. When did you become a professional wrestler? And who trained you? And
Well, it all started. I started my actual training in April of 1991. I was actually still in high school at the time, and and then as in PA, you can't wrestle until you're 18, of course. So I was still 17 training. I started in April of 91 by Maniac Jimmy Dio. He was my trainer. Dr. Johnny Wildside, Jeff Gripley. A lot of them had a big influence in my training. I actually started in Jimmy's garage and actually had my first match July 28th, 1991. And from there, like it just he had the garage. Then we actually had a school later, but all the way back from 1991 on, and that's been in 31 years. Working on 32.
that's a really good long time to have a prestigious career like yours.
Yeah. So, but I mean, and there was a lot of people along the way, but like Jimmy was my main trainer. Dr. Johnny Wildside was there. Gripley was there. A lot of them guys really had a hand in everything, and I couldn't thank them enough for everything they've done for me, helping guiding me through what seemed to be, a very long time, it seems. So, but,
So what was your experience with learning how to wrestle? What did you have a rough time learning it, or were you just like some people in the business, they just get it just like that?
um, like in the beginning, like when we're all new, we're young, we're just trying to figure stuff out. I mean, I don't want to say I was a student of the game, but I really wanted to, learn what I could. So, one of my friends that went to training with me, he lived close by, and we would practice, when we weren't, at the garage. But I mean, in 3 months, I had my first match. So, I mean, I picked it up at the same time. There's so much to learn, like, and so, I mean, I just tried to, like anything, just try to pick it up as fast as I could. Wanted to learn it, it was something that I, passionately wanted to learn and be the best I could be. So,
Oh yeah, definitely. I understand that. I understand.
Ricky, are you on now or?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right.
yeah.
All right, Ricky, would you like to ask a question?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. So, one of my first questions is, what was it like doing the flaming chop? Like, I always wanted to know. I just never. I walked up to you, asked that question. This is something.
Like, something that therefore I never thought about it until, like, I actually was playing with fire, and I was just wondering, like, could the chop be done? Could the heart punch be done? And, like, could I even blow fire? And, like, my first playing around with it, I actually was using to try to blow fire was Cardi 151, which, whoo, did that burn your mouth when you set that out? But I was trying to find something that would have a good flame, and stick for a long time. The trouble is, I first tried using axe, which it wouldn't give you a big flame, but it was colorful. But the flame wasn't very big, so I had to, like anything, you have to see what works best. And I found out that carb cleaner was the best thing to use, So, and it's a lot of just practice. You spray your hand, light it, and see how long you can do it before it really, start to burn you and stuff. And normally, you have, I'd say, up to like 5 or 6 seconds to be able to have it on your hand, spray it, and light it before it really starts to get to your skin and stuff. So, I mean, it's something that I played with a lot. Like, this is something that I just didn't think about doing and just did it. No, it took a lot of, practicing, just trying different things. I tried regular alcohol to see if that would work, but research. I did a lot of research.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, I know how that chop feels. I still don't grow hair on my left side of my chest. Like, I mean, honestly. So with your experience, what can you say that was the most influential thing that has happened to you in your career?
Influential.
A lot of people he knows a lot of big words.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like, depending how long you're in this business, you're gonna have a lot of ups, you're gonna have a lot of downs. I mean, there was a lot of people talked to that, kind of helped you along. But I was kind of in a rut. And I don't know if it was I'd say probably the most influential, even though I don't know him super well. Back in like I'm trying to think what it was, 2012, 2013, maybe. I had a chance to go out to Wisconsin, and the guy who was running the show, I've known him for years. He used to be, a wrestler and everything. And he wanted me to come out, and he said, "Hey, you're going to work the Outlaws." I'm like, "The New Age Outlaws?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Do a 3-on-2 handicap thing," and I look forward to that. And like I said, I was in a rut. Like I like the drama with wrestling every day, like all these shows, and there's drama, and I wasn't having a lot of fun. And I was at a point where, like, I don't know, like, maybe this is the end. Maybe it's time to get out because I'm just tired of. I just want to go do it and leave. I wasn't having the time of my life anymore. We went out there and we talked and we called the match and stuff. And the one thing that both like Billy and Road Dogg taught me without really telling me was to just go out and have fun. Like there was times in that match that I just wanted to laugh, and being the heel, I was trying not to, but I saw that they were having so much fun. Didn't care what was going on. They were just having fun. Something happened out there. They laughed about it, and they just moved on. I was always worried about having good matches and this and that. And as long as you're out there having fun and you're not having like a terrible match, but it's passable, those guys there taught me to just go out every night and have fun, make the most of it, have as much fun as you can, because one day it's going to be over. And then from that day forward, I'll just, what? They were right. Even though they didn't tell me to go out and have fun, I could see like the stuff that they were doing, how fun it was to be out there with them, the joy. And like after that match, I was like, man, that was so great. It was so refreshing from what I've seen back down, being out there in Wisconsin to being here on the East Coast. Like, man, I had so much fun. Like, I want to do it again, And I think even though it wasn't an indirectly sit down talking with them showing me like, just go out, have a great time and enjoy yourself. That there alone speaks volumes.
Oh man, that's amazing, honestly. So the kind of like, who would you say is like your top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time?
Favorite, just in general, or who I have wrestled?
In general, and then I'm gonna do who you have wrestled as well.
Top 5, man, like I think one's gonna have to be Triple H. I just loved his style, what he has done, but then from there it moves to guys like Bigelow, Vader, and then I don't know, like rounding out the top 5, believe it or not, growing up seeing him, Hogan, just because of what he did, just the stuff that he did, like the magic that he can do, the people, like everything he did in there, the people were on edge all the time. They were, when he was down, they were crying. When he was up, they were so ecstatic, And then rounding out my 5th guy, and I don't know, I'd probably have to say Mick, just because of the bigger guy. Malcolm, yes, Malcolm. Mick, just because he was a bigger guy, and not only could he just do the hardcore, but he could tell a story, and he was very good at that. His selling was very good, and it just overall, you could put him in any scenario, and he would just work wonders. So that's probably my top 5.
Oh, that's amazing.
All right.
Now
I love it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you about to say?
I said I love Mick Foley when he was Cactus Jack. He told great stories in WCW with anyone he worked.
Absolutely. Yep.
He was crazy, but he told a story.
Very crazy, but yes, he was that storyteller. He didn't have to do all that crazy stuff. He chose to because, like he said before, I heard him in interviews. He wants to give the fans more than what they bargained for. He want to send them home happy, going at the end of the day, wow, that guy really performed. So he was about the people, and that's what it comes down to.
All right.
Yeah, he was crazy.
Oh yeah.
So I
Now,
guess I'll ask a question and then we'll go to like advertising for the next coming shows coming up and stuff.
Okay.
So I would have to ask if you had to give any advice to somebody that wants to wrestle or a person that just started wrestling, what would it be?
The best advice is simple. It's eyes and ears open, mouth shut, and be a sponge. Learn from anybody and everybody. Be that person that's willing to listen, take notes, and be a student of the game. Like if you really want to do this, then act like you want to do it. A lot of people want to get in it for the wrong reasons because they think maybe there's money, they think there's glamour, and there can be. But you got to start somewhere and starting learning to train, learning the craft, learning how to get in there and just do basic stuff. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of patience. Without patience, you're not going to do anything, but you got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to just listen because listening will get you a lot further than just trying to be hard-headed and going forward. And you really have to just, take everything in, don't be afraid to, pick somebody's brain that's been around a while, or even students that have been there and you're saying like, hey, I'm trying this, I can see you could do this well, get advice, and especially talk to the guys that are training you, because I mean, I always call my kids, my students, my kids, because I believe they are my kids. I want to teach them. I want them to get better. So for that to happen, I need that open communication with them to say, hey, there's a problem. There's something going on. Tell me so we can work this out. But it still comes down to ears, eyes open, mouth shut.
All right. So I'll play this video about the posters and then we'll get back to this.
All right.
All right, so just for everyone that is either hopping on or whatever, we have some upcoming shows. We have January 28th, which is CCW or whatever. We have some upcoming shows. And then we have Seven Mountains Wrestling, which is February 11th in Lewistown. Stacks.
At MR Stacks Gym, be there because you don't want to miss the show. You're going to see a lot of stuff. The six men up top.
And then we have a show in New Jersey. It is EWA. It's also going to be on pay-per-view. If you need that information, I can send it to you guys. And then the month of March, our school, Fort Noxious, will be doing free tryouts the whole month. So if you guys are interested in that, you can also hit us up. And Mark is having a seminar, which you do not want to miss. That is the February 25th, 2 to 4 in New Jersey 2. If you guys want to attend that, you guys can hit Mark up and
let me know. Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. So now, Mark, we've known you for years. You watched us grow up.
Absolutely.
Was my first
we watched. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he was his first match.
Yeah, that's right.
What is the funniest moment you had on the indie show?
Ooh. On the indie show? Wow. I mean, woo, you guys are making me think tonight. Wow. Holy smokes. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of funny moments. I mean, are you talking about in ring, outer ring, just at the show? Like,
it could be in. It could be in ring, out of the ring. How about in ring and then out of the ring?
Boy, I mean, funny. I mean, we always pulled ribs and stuff. There was always people pulling ribs some way, somehow. But and all the shows that I've done, I'm trying to rack my brain here. But I only remember so many of them. But let's see. Boy, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. I mean, I will say, what comes to mind, you're going back to Wisconsin, in ring, working the Outlaws, Billy jumped over the guardrail to grab a beer from one of the fans. When he jumped back, he slipped and fell, and Road Dogg looked at him and goes, yo, bro. He goes, you just pulled an X-Pac, and like literally, like they started laughing. I turned and I was like, "Oh my god!" That's how I said it was so much fun. But I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of moments, but I just like at a show itself, hard to say. I mean, right now I can't think of one on the top of my head, but I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay.
I have a question. In your career, what would one thing you would change if you would have to change one thing?
The thing that eluded me forever, and that would be working Vader. I really wish that night would have happened that we could have went one-on-one instead of them trying to push it off to the following month. I mean, because like I was in the ring with Bigelow. I got a chance to be with Bam Bam Bigelow twice, and Vader was the other guy that I really, really wanted. So, I mean, that's just, if there was one thing that could have been changed, would have been to be able to wrestle him that night in Lancaster. That would have been like probably the, best thing that could have ever happened, at least for me.
I agree.
Wow. So to kind of piggyback off of that answer, I just heard you say you wrestled Bam Bam Bigelow. Well, who are like some of the top 5 wrestlers that you have wrestled, like of all time for you?
Well, I mean, I got my first big guy was Bam Bam Bigelow. He was the first guy I got a chance to wrestle, and then of course then the Outlaws. But I also got to wrestle Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I got to team with the one and then wrestle against with Demolition. I got to team up with Demolition Axe, but then in Wisconsin, I got to wrestle against Smash. So, but I mean, top 5, Bigelow's definitely there. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was another one. Let's see who else there was. I got to do a stint with the Godfather. It wasn't a match, but I got to do a little stint with him, which was kind of cool. I got to wrestle King Kong Bundy down in West Virginia. That was another guy, big man, that I got a chance to wrestle, and really great, and we had a lot of fun. So, but I didn't get the 5 count. I did not get the 5. I wanted the 5, but he didn't give it to me. So, yep, I didn't get the 5. So Bam Bam, Bundy, Hacksaw, Demolition. I think I got in the ring in a 6-man with Ricky Morton. So that was
Ricky Morton.
That's right. That was pretty cool. So, but I mean, that's probably my top 5, I would say. I mean, I think I got a chance to do a couple other stints with other people, but like I said, my brain's not working 100%. So, but those were definitely great memories and things that I will definitely cherish.
Well, that is a list of its own.
Yes.
I mean, I really have to say that is a list because.
You know what? I forgot. I don't know why I forgot it, but I shouldn't have. But because maybe it wasn't the greatest. Was the Road Warriors? But I wrestled them when they were not very happy with each other, and unfortunately, Hawk got drunk, and it wasn't a great night. So, but I got into the ring with them. They were nice guys. It's just that they were fighting at the time, so they weren't on the same page. But at least I could say I got a chance to be in the ring with them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I guess my next question would be, what made you want to open a school?
Well, it actually came. Well, I don't know if I really wanted to open a school. See, what happened is in the summer of '93, Jimmy had the school in Reading, and he was getting out of there. And in the beginning of the summer of '93, Jimmy goes, "Hey, I got great news." I was like, "Okay, what?" He goes, "I found another building for the school." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Bad news is I'm getting out of the business. And Troy and I were like, "Oh, what are you gonna do with the school?" He goes, "If nobody wants it, I'm just gonna close it down." And Troy and I talked. It was like, "Well, he's got a building, he's got a place. What do you think about opening the school, continue the school?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Hell, we're 2 years in. Like, what do we know?" I'm thinking and there was other students that were part of it, but they weren't going to get involved. And, so, we talked about it, and then we talked to Jimmy. It was like, "Look, I'll sell it to you, whatever. You can have the ring, the name, whatever, all that stuff. And, guys want to continue it, you can continue it. It's up to you." And we didn't, at that time, I wasn't quite 20 yet. I was still 19. That July, I would have turned 20. And June 24th of '93, my brother and I took over the school over Dio's Dungeon. We actually own the name Dio's Dungeon, but, we took it over, and, it was, I don't want to say it was forced upon us, but at the same time, we're like, if we don't keep it running, there's going to be no place for any of the guys that are there now. And, so we decided to take that leap of faith, say, you know what, let's see what we can do. And Jimmy gave us the contacts for guys that he did rentals for and whatnot all. And back then there was only a few places that really ran that needed a ring, so if we did 1 or 2 shows a month, we were busy, so, but it was one of them deals where you know what, it's a shot in the dark. Let's see what happens. And, here we're working on, 30 years coming up, this June. So I guess it all kind of works out,
Definitely.
So who is one of the dungeon's success stories? Who is one of your students that have?
Well, the best one is Steve Carino, who's an NXT producer as we speak. Steve. Yeah. Steve's there down there, but he was ECW champion, this and that. But yeah, Steve was he's the guy that went all the way, and he's still there now. Took him a long road to get there. So, but yeah, he's been our biggest success. I mean, and we've had guys come up there to work out. We had actually a couple times. Well, we had Chris Hero come up. He did some personal training, and he brought some guys with. So. Then we actually had Claudio up there once or twice. Mm-hmm. Came with Chris. So I mean, and then student wise, I mean, probably half the East Coast. When it comes to, I mean, you talk about, think about, even though we didn't start training, but guys like Rob, Adrian Bliss, and from there it just continues to go. Ed House got a chance to go on Raw, so. I mean, we produced a lot of students, and then / helped a lot of people get to where they wanted to go, or at least hopefully we point them in the right direction at least. But we went through a lot of A lot of people have come through the dungeon all these years, you know.
Okay. I've wrestled you multiple times, and it was probably like one of like the most awesome times that I had because we go out there and we just do it. It was
Right?
fun.
Exactly. Yeah,
You and
absolutely.
Rob. I no offense towards anyone else. You and Rob are always one of my favorite matches because like we had fun.
Thank you.
Especially, I mean, you know, the time me, you, Rob, and Flex Wheeler wrestled. We had fun.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
like
That's what it comes down to. You got to have fun, you know.
we had fun that day.
Hell
Because
yeah.
they always had to carry you. Now it's your turn to carry other people.
I don't need to be carried. I'm the carrier. But it's a blessing to have been taught stuff by you. You know, you're the reason why my elbow drop looks the way it does.
Right.
Because you told me, drive it in.
Right.
Take
Absolutely.
your head off.
Yep,
You know,
absolutely.
like you help so many people in the business, and that's the reason why you were number one. You were the number one person that I said that we should have on the show first.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because, like, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't, Rob, we wouldn't have been trained as wrestlers. You know,
Right.
like, it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be a lot of people.
Right.
If it wasn't for you and your brother, it wouldn't be a lot of people in this business that are now. You know, we appreciate you. And everyone that has been affected by you appreciate everything that you've done for them. And here's my next question.
All right.
Which one?
He's asking which one would you pick? Which one of his pictures?
It's an unfair question, but it's a good one.
It is. Man, I don't know. I might have to lean to. Well, you want me to lean to that way? Is that the way you want me to lean?
I mean, we can go like this, but like it's hard.
Yeah. I would. Might have to go on the one that's on your left shoulder there, I think.
Rick Rude.
Yeah, he was
something.
Yes, he was from. I never met him, but from the stories I tell, Rick was business, but he was all about business. You know, I heard he was a good heel. Look at the stuff that he did. You know. He got reactions all the time. Oh, yeah. Can't see who it is. Oh.
I got a question. So, what was it like back in the day trying to get on different shows and stuff? Like, what would you have to do? Because like now, you can just send a video across Facebook and,
I mean, like, there was still networking, but like if you wanted to talk to a promoter, it was the old school way. You make up a VHS tape, get an address, get a promo picture, get a resume together, you stick it and you send it into the mail, and hopefully they get it in a few days. And then you realize back then there was no cell phones, so you had your landline, you had your home phone, and you gave them that number. You make sure you had an answer machine on there, so that way if you were out, that if you missed a phone call, you could call somebody back. And I mean, like I said, you can still talk to guys on other shows, but it's like if the promoter wanted you, they're still calling that landline, they're still calling your home, not phone. There was no cell phones to drag around at that time, when we started. And hell, when you went to shows, if you didn't know where you're going, buy a map and figure out where you got to go. There was no, hey, let me look it up on Google today. Nope. None of that stuff, so it was definitely old school. And if you couldn't do any of that, you were screwed. You were literally screwed. I remember a couple times going to New York, and it was either on Long Island or somewhere in the city. They, you know, they were running shows for the rental, and we're like, we're going to so and so. Okay, do you have an address? Okay, here's the address. And literally, like going to New York City, I'd open up the big map. I have it in front of me here, going, okay, all right, I'm gonna take this route. Takes me up here into the city. I got to go, and I'd write everything down. All right, I got to go to here, this street, to what is that? That street, and we got to go up here to so many blocks, and then you're gonna make a left. How to do that? You know, you had to be able to, you know. And then if somebody went with you, they read the map, like, okay, we're on so and so street now. Okay, yep, you got to go to how many so and so street to make a turn. We're turning left, turning right. Okay, you're gonna turn right at so. All right, that's a couple blocks up here yet. So then you'd be looking for it, and hopefully you find it. If not, you pass it and you circle it around and try to get back on track. But yeah, it was old school. There was no just like how punch it in now and see how far away it is. Not, you know, not back then. No. But yeah, still at the end of the day though, you had to, you know, send something to promoters, and then hopefully, you know, you get an answer back, and if not, you try and send it again. But you know, it was pretty tough.
So here's a question. Has the wrestling community have seen the last match of Mean Mark Mess?
Well, I've learned in this business that you never say never. But, you know, the door is slowly closing. You know, is there a possibility? Maybe. You know, it's getting slimmer and slimmer, but, you know, I'll just say never say never. Just because
Never say never.
You never know what could happen. You never know what could change. You know, like that window, like I said, is slowly closing. You know, it's not completely closed, but at the same time, you know, it's slow. It's not, the wind is slowly closing it. So I will just leave it as that. I just, you know, I won't say no, but I won't say yes either. So we'll have to see what happens.
Only time can tell.
That's right. Time tells everything.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes you just gotta wait a little longer than you want.
Yeah. It's like going to it's like going to a whorehouse. You got to pick the right one, because you pick the left one, you might get gonorrhea.
Very true. Very true.
It's
Very
true.
So what are your thoughts on professional wrestling and how it's like evolving today?
Like, you know, wrestling has changed a lot over the years. Some good, some bad. And I know a lot of people may not like this. The internet has really killed the business. But on the flip side, it has really helped the business. Just because, for the reason of killing the business, and what I mean by that is, we all used to know of kayfabe, and we kept things quiet. There is none of that no more. You know, fans want to know anything and everything now. They, you know, years ago they had no choice. It was always a surprise. You're looking you're trying to get the dirt sheets to see what's happening, who signed where, who did this, who did that. Now people just go on the internet, start a rumor, all of a sudden it catches wildfire. Whether it's true or not, you don't know for sure. But there's so much speculation then. So there's none of that drama of like what's going, you know, who's going to show up. You know, look at Royal Rumble. You know, like for that pay-per-view, you know, when you watched it, you know, back then it was quiet. Nobody knew. So when you see somebody come through, they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's here." Now it's like, "Oh, so and so might be there. So and so might be there. So and so might be there." So then you look for him, and then if they don't show, you're like, "God darn it! You know what? I didn't like Royal Rumble. This guy didn't show up. That guy didn't show up." But
Yeah.
you set yourself up for failure because you have to know. You know, every wrestling fan wants to know now, which I get it because they wanna be intrigued, but let the mystery build. Be a fan. Just let it evolve as it evolves. You know?
Yeah.
And I feel the magic of wrestling has slowly gone away because of it. You know, and that part what really I kind of irks me about the internet because like everybody's trying to log on to find everything. You're not a fan anymore. Now you're like the investigator going, "Hey, did you hear about so and so?" No, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look see if I can find anything out. Oh, I got something here. You know, why? If you know, we all like surprises. Why do you not want to be surprised anymore? You know, everybody wants to be that guy. Like, hey, I called it first. I said that was going to happen.
Yeah.
True.
You know. So, but I mean, at the same time, wrestling has helped the boys because now, like you said earlier, send a link to a promoter and go, "Hey, here's my stuff. Take a look at it." You know, everybody's got a cell phone now. You know, you can do everything from your phone. I do everything from my phone. I'm sending emails. I'm texting. You know, this, that, whatever. You know, it's very convenient. So it's really has helped. You won't miss a call if you got your phone. You know,
Yeah,
and, you know,
definitely.
so it definitely has helped. You know, I just feel that wrestling. When you say kayfabe's dead, I don't think it died. And if it did die, it died because everybody wanted to know everything. If you're a true wrestling fan, just enjoy it. You know, I get irked when you see watch social media, and whether it's fans or even guys that are in the business going, this show sucked. I can't believe why are you watching it then? Like why? Oh, Raw sucks, but you watched it and you're complaining about it.
Yeah.
Turn the channel. Turn to something else. Why must you make your life horrible? And why do you got to be miserable when you can turn up something on that you want? Instead of watching that, watch something that you like to watch. Watch a movie. Watch a show that you're binging. Something. Forget about it. Read it in. Read it online. The results later. And I feel that the internet is being used for the purposes of like I said, that magic, that special, what's going to happen is gone because everybody has the power at their fingertips to look anything and everything up. And I think that has really hurt the business just because, everybody has to know. Why do you have to know? You didn't know 20 years ago. You couldn't know, So I think, like I said, it's good, but bad at the same time. So
I'm gonna ask you a question. Jason Gotti Dominic, which is still he said, I got a question. Besides wrestling Vader, which big man alive or deceased, past or present in the business, would you want to work?
Like I said, I got a chance to work Bam Bam, but I mean, if I had a choice, probably Triple H, just because of what he has done. He made anybody and everybody look good, no matter what he did. Once he got his niche and he got that certain point where he could make, like always say, Ric Flair can make a broomstick look good. Triple H was that same guy. So good at what he did. Very knowledgeable of psychology. I think it'd probably it'd be him, maybe Triple H.
Triple H. I
Yeah.
I could see that. I got him down. I'm the game. The best damn wrestler. Damn. But yeah, I can see that. Me, Mark Mess versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Triple H versus Triple M.
Right? It's the triples.
Yeah, right. Battle of the triples. Yep.
Who won?
Ricky, you've been pretty quiet. You got anything?
Man, I'm soaking all this in. I'm legit taking notes, like as he's saying it, because
That means he got no questions, no more questions. That's what that means, Mark.
hey, man,
All right,
I'm trying to think. Let me see.
I got one. Here we go. Which championship in WCW did you think was more prestige?
Well, there's going to be people out here that are going to hate me for this, but I never watched a lot of WCW, because I couldn't. But like more prestige. I mean, I don't think there's something more prestigious than the world title. You can say what you want, but I think the main title goes to your company. I'm old school. Like I believe that can a other title go above it? I guess maybe if somebody that's holding it, like that's got more prestige in it. Like for example, let's say you have somebody like I don't know. Let's just take let's say Hogan, who's the world champion or something. Okay, unless you have somebody that's his quality or better holding a smaller title, a different title, I still believe that maybe then that one title means more. But I mean, I think a world title is the biggest. Because that's your company. That's the guy main event. That's the people that are coming to see. At least they should be. If you throw a title on somebody that's not, I mean that's old school mentality. A lot of things have changed, but like I think the world title should be the main one that people should be focusing on, and that should be built around your company.
Okay, cool. I mean, there's so much that we can keep asking, and we could talk all night, honestly, because like you have so much to give.
Right.
What last year? What was the most exciting match you got to watch? Okay, hold up, wait before you answer.
I was say
male and female matches.
Last year.
Yep, last year.
Man, you think I have a really good memory? Don't you know we're all wrestlers? Like our memory's shot. Like,
I remember everything, Mark.
Well, I'm glad you do because you probably have.
You hit me in the head with a kitchen sink, and I remember everything.
Yeah,
remember
that? but I've been in longer, and I've probably taken more headshots than you. Of course, especially someone under the floor. So, like match Mike, like oh man, I don't know. I mean, didn't see a lot of women matches though. So like, last year, boy, that's like 12 months. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't see. I don't want to be biased either, but like I saw Quay and Ian Bush put on a